NCLEX RN questions and answers made incredibly easy. ISBN 978 to 1-496 to 2549-51 7th edition. Lisco, Dr. Susan, or Lisco Susan. Print page break 16. Chapter 2. Passing the NCLEX. Just the facts. In this chapter you'll learn how to properly prepare for the NCLEX, how to concentrate during difficult study times, ways to make more effective use of your time, why creative studying strategies can enhance learning, how to get the most out of NCLEX practice tests, Send 999, 142.200 and 4.35.1900 and 41. September 25, 2025, 3937 UTC. NCLEX RN questions and answers made incredibly easy. ISBN 978 to 1-4963 to 2549 5 or 7th edition. Lisco, Dr. Susan or Lisco Susan. Study preparations. If you're like most people preparing to take the test, you're probably feeling nervous, anxious, or concerned. Keep in mind that most test takers pass the NCLEX the first time around. Passing the test won't happen by accident, though. You'll need to prepare carefully and efficiently. To help jumpstart your preparations, determine your strengths and weaknesses, create a study schedule, set realistic goals, find an effective study space, think positively, start studying sooner rather than later. Strengths and weaknesses. Most students recognize that even at the end of their nursing studies, they know more about some topics than others. Because the NCLEX covers a broad range of material, you should make some decisions about how intensively you'll review each topic. Make a list. Base those decisions on a list. Divide a sheet of paper in half vertically. On one side, list topics you think you know well. On the other side, list topics you need to review. Pay no attention if one side is longer than the other. When you're done studying, you'll feel strong in every area. Send 999 or 142.200 and 4.35.194 or September 25, 2025, 3:39:37 UTC. NCLEX RN questions and answers made incredibly easy. ISBN 978 to 1-4963 to 2549 5 or 7th edition. Lisco, Dr. Susan Lisco Susan. Most students pass the NCLEX on the first try. I know you can too. Where the list comes from. To make sure your list reflects a comprehensive view of all the areas you studied in school, look at the contents page in the front of this book. For each topic listed, place it in the Know Well column or Needs Review column. Separating content areas this way shows immediately which topics need less study time and which need more time. You also may wish to integrate feedback you have received from your courses, instructors, and other products you have used to guide your understanding of strong and weak areas. For example, some products that use adaptive engines will assess your progress over time and give you feedback about areas that may pose challenges for you. Integrate this information into your plan. Print page break 17, scheduling study time. Study when you're most alert. Most people can identify a period of the day when they feel most alert. If you feel most alert and energized in the morning, for example, set aside sections of time in the morning for topics that need a lot of review. Then you can use the evening, a time of lesser alertness, for topics that need some refreshing. The opposite is true as well. If you're more alert in the evening, study difficult topics at that time. Send 999, 142.200 and 4.25 1941 25 September 2000 and 25 3:39:37 UTC. NCLEX RN questions and answers made incredibly easy. ISBN 9781 4963 2549 or 7th edition. Lisco, Dr. Susan or Lisco Susan. What and when? Set up a basic schedule for studying. Using a calendar or organizer, determine how much time remains before you'll take the NCLEX. See 2 to 3 months before the NCLEX below. Fill in the remaining days with specific times and topics to be studied. Plan to start studying your weak areas early. Remember to schedule difficult topics during your most alert times. Keep in mind that you shouldn't fill each day with studying. Be realistic and set aside time for normal activities. Try to create ample study time before the NCLEX, and then stick to the schedule. Allow some extra time in the schedule in case you get behind or come across a topic that requires extra review. Keep goals manageable. Part of creating a schedule means setting goals you can accomplish. You no doubt studied a great deal in nursing school, and by now you have a sense of your own capabilities. Ask yourself, how much can I cover in a day? Set that amount of time aside and then stay on task. You'll feel better about yourself and your chances of passing the NCLEX when you meet your goals regularly. Study space. Find a space conducive to effective learning and then study there. Whatever you do, don't study with videos playing in the room or in an environment with multiple sources of distraction. Instead, find a quiet, inviting study space that is located in a quiet, convenient place away from normal traffic patterns. Contains a solid chair that encourages good posture. Avoid studying in bed. You'll be more likely to fall asleep and not accomplish your goals. To-do list. 2 to 3 months before the NCLEX. With 2 to 3 months remaining before you plan to take the examination, take these steps. Establish a study schedule. Set aside ample time to study, but also leave time for social activities, exercise, family or personal responsibilities, and other matters. Send 999 or 142.200 and 4.35.194 or September 25th, 2025, 3937 UTC. NCLEX RN questions and answers made incredibly easy. ISBN 97814 2549-5 or 7th edition LISCO, Dr. Susan or LISCO Susan. Become knowledgeable about the NCLEX RN examination, its content, the types of questions it asks, and the testing format. Begin studying your notes, texts, and other study materials. Take some NCLEX practice questions to help you diagnose strengths and weaknesses, as well as to become familiar with NCLEX-style questions. Focus on your areas of weakness. That way, you'll have time to review these areas again before the test date. Print page break 18. Uses comfortable, soft lighting with which you can see clearly without eye strain. Has a temperature between 65 degree and 70 degree Fahrenheit, 18 degree and 21 degrees Celsius. Contains flowers or green plants, familiar photos or paintings, and easy access to soft instrumental background music. Accentuate the positive. Consider hanging positive messages around your study space. Make signs with words of encouragement such as, "You can do it," "Keep studying," and "Remember the goal." These upbeat messages can help keep you going when your attention begins to waver. Maintaining concentration. When you're faced with reviewing the amount of information covered by the NCLEX, it's easy to become distracted and lose your concentration. When you lose concentration, you make less effective use of valuable study time. To help stay focused, keep these tips in mind. Alternate the order of the subjects you study during the day to add variety to your study. Approach your studying with enthusiasm, sincerity, and determination. Once you've decided to study, begin immediately. Don't let anything interfere with your thought processes once you've begun. Concentrate on accomplishing one task at a time to the exclusion of everything else. Don't try to do two things at once, such as studying and watching videos or conversing with friends. Work continuously without interruption for a while, but don't study for such a long period that the whole experience becomes grueling or boring. Allow time for periodic breaks to give yourself a change of pace. Use these breaks to ease your transition into studying a new topic. When studying in the evening, wind down from your studies slowly. Don't progress directly from studying to sleeping. Send 999 or 142.200 and 4.35.194 or September 25th, 2025, 3937 UTC. NCLEX RN questions and answers made incredibly easy. ISBN 97814963 to 2549-57 Lisco, Dr. Susan Like Sue edition. This chair invites slacking, not studying. You should find a chair that encourages good posture instead. Taking care of yourself. Never neglect your physical and mental well-being in favor of longer study hours. Maintaining physical and mental health is critical for success in taking the NCLEX. See 4 to 6 weeks before the NCLEX below. To-do list. 4 to 6 weeks before the NCLEX. With 4 to 6 weeks remaining before you plan to take the examination, take these steps. Continue to focus on your areas of weakness. Find a study partner or form a study group. Take a practice test to gauge your skill level early. Sun 999 or 142.204.35, 194.25, September 2025 339.37 UTC. NCLEX RN questions and answers made incredibly easy. ISBN 978 to 1 4963 to 2549-5 or 7th edition. Lisco, Dr. Susan or Lisco Susan. Take time to eat, sleep, exercise, and socialize to avoid burnout. Print page break 19. A few simple rules. You can increase your likelihood of passing the test by following these simple health rules. Get plenty of rest. You can't think deeply or concentrate for long periods when you're tired. Drink enough non-caffeinated beverages. Mild dehydration increases the effort required to concentrate and reason while distracting attention through feelings of fatigue and thirst. Eat nutritious meals. Maintaining your energy level is impossible when you're undernourished. Exercise regularly. Regular exercise, preferably 30 minutes daily, helps you work harder and think more clearly. As a result, you'll study more efficiently and increase the likelihood of success. Memory power. If you're having trouble concentrating but would rather push through than take a break, try making your studying more active by reading out loud. Active studying can renew your powers of concentration. By reading review material out loud to yourself, you're engaging your ears as well as your eyes, and making your studying a more active process. Hearing the material out loud also fosters memory and subsequent recall. You can also rewrite in your own words a few of the more difficult concepts you're reviewing. Explaining these concepts in writing forces you to think through the material and can jumpstart your memory. Send 999 or 142.200 and 4.35.194 or September 25th, 2025, 339.37 UTC. NCLEX RN questions and answers made incredibly easy. ISBN 97814963 to 2543 37th edition. Lisco, Dr. Susan Laco Susan. A short jog now will help us concentrate later. Study schedule. When you were creating your schedule, you might have asked yourself, how long should I study? 1 hour at a stretch? 2 hours? 3? To make the best use of your study time, you'll need to answer those questions. Optimum study time. Consider studying in 20 to 30-minute intervals with a short break in between. You remember the material you study at the beginning and end of a session best and tend to remember less material studied in the middle of the session. The total length of time in each study session depends on you and the amount of material you need to cover. To thine own self be true. So what's the answer? It doesn't matter as long as you determine what's best for you. At the beginning of your NCLEX study schedule, try study periods of varying lengths. Pay close attention to those that seem more successful. Remember that you're an educated nurse who is competent at assessment. Think of yourself as a patient and assess your own progress. Then implement the strategy that works best for you. 942.200 and 4.35, 104.25. September 2, 533037 UTC. NCLEX RN questions and answers made incredibly easy. ISBN 9781 4963 2549 5 or 7th edition LISCO, Dr. Susan or LISCO Susan. Finding time to study. So does that mean that short sections of time are useless? Not at all. We all have spaces in our day that might otherwise be dead time. See 1 week before the NCLEX on next page. These are perfect times to review for the NCLEX, but not to cover new material, because by the time you get deep into new material, your time will be over. Print page break 20. Always keep some flashcards or a small notebook handy for situations when you have a few extra minutes. You may also want to use a mobile device to access NCLEX study tools available online. To-do list. 1 week before the NCLEX. With 1 week remaining before the NCLEX examination, take these steps. Take a review test to measure your progress. Record key ideas and principles on note cards or a phone app. Rest, eat well, and avoid thinking about the examination during non-study times. Treat yourself to one special event. You've been working hard and you deserve it. You'll be amazed how many short sessions you can find in a day and how much reviewing you can do in 5 minutes. The following places offer short stretches of time you can use: eating breakfast, waiting for or riding on a train or bus, waiting in line at the grocery store, restaurant, or other places. Send 999 or 142.200 and 4.35.194 or September 25, 2025, 3:39:37 UTC. NCLEX RN questions and answers made incredibly easy. 9781 4963 2549 5 or 7th edition LISCO, Dr. Susan or LISCO Susan. Using exercise equipment such as a treadmill. Creative studying. Even when you study in a perfect study space and concentrate better than ever, studying for the NCLEX can get a little, well, dull. Even people with terrific study habits occasionally feel bored or sluggish. That is why it's important to have some creative tricks in your study bag to liven up your studying during those downtimes. Creative studying doesn't have to be hard work. It involves making efforts to alter your study habits a bit. Some techniques that might help include studying with a partner or group and creating flashcards or other audiovisual study tools. Study partners. Studying with a partner or group of students, 3 or 4 students at most, can be an excellent way to energize your studying. Working with a partner allows you to test each other on the material you've reviewed. Your partner can give you encouragement and motivation. Perhaps most important, working with a partner can provide a welcome break from solitary studying. Be choosy. Exercise some care when choosing a study partner or assembling a study group. A partner who doesn't fit your needs won't help you make the most of your study time. Look for a partner who possesses similar goals to yours. For example, someone taking the NCLEX at approximately the same date who feels the same sense of urgency as you do might make an excellent partner. Possesses about the same level of knowledge as you. Tutoring someone can sometimes help you learn, but partnering should be give and take so both partners can gain knowledge, can study without excess chatting or interruptions. Socializing is an important part of creative study, but remember, you've still got to pass the NCLEX, so stay serious. Print page break 21. Send 999 or 142 to 204.35 or 194 or September 25th, 2025, 3:39:37 UTC. NCLEX RN questions and answers made incredibly easy. ISBN 978 to 4963 to 2549 or 7th edition LISCO Dr. Susan or LISCO Susan. The day before the NCLEX. With 1 day before the NCLEX examination, take these steps. Drive to the test site, review traffic patterns, and find out where to park. If your route to the test site occurs during heavy traffic or if you're expecting bad weather, Set aside extra time to ensure prompt arrival. Do something relaxing during the day. Avoid concentrating on the test. Eat and drink well and avoid dwelling on the NCLEX during non-study periods. Call a supportive friend or relative for some last-minute words of encouragement. Get plenty of rest the night before and allow for plenty of time in the morning. Audiovisual tools. Flashcards and other audiovisual tools foster retention and make learning and reviewing fun. Adobe Flash? No. Flashcards. Flashcards can provide you with an excellent study tool. The process of writing material on a flashcard will help you remember it. In addition, flashcards are small and easily portable, perfect for those 5-minute slivers of time that show up during the day. Creating a flashcard should be fun. Use magic markers, highlighters, and other colorful tools to make them visually stimulating. The more effort you put into creating your flashcards, the better you'll remember the material contained on the cards. Other visual tools, flowcharts, drawings, diagrams, and other image-oriented study aids can also help you learn material more effectively. Substituting images for text can be a great way to give your eyes a break and recharge your brain. Remember to use vivid colors to make your creations visually engaging. Here's the thing. If you learn more effectively when you hear information rather than see it, consider recording key ideas using a phone app. Recording information helps promote memory because you say the information aloud when recording and then listen to it when playing it back. Like flashcards, these recordings are portable and perfect for those short study periods during the day. See the day before the NCLEX above, SEN 999, or 142.204.35.194, or September 25, 2025, 3:39:37 UTC. NCLEX RN questions and answers made incredibly easy. ISBN 9781 4900 and 6325 49-5 or 7th edition. Lisco Dr. Susan or Lisco Susan. Practice tests. Practice questions should constitute an important part of your NCLEX study strategy. Practice questions can improve your studying by helping you review material and familiarizing yourself with the exact style of questions you'll encounter on the NCLEX. Practice at the beginning. Consider working through some practice questions as soon as you begin studying for the NCLEX. For example, you might try a half-dozen questions from each chapter in this book. If you score well, you probably know the material contained in that chapter fairly well and can spend less time reviewing that particular topic. If you have trouble with the questions, spend extra study time on that topic. Print page break 22. You're getting there. Practice questions can also provide an excellent means of marking your progress. Don't worry if you have trouble answering the first few practice questions you take. You'll need time to adjust to the way the questions are asked. Eventually, you'll become accustomed to the question format and begin to focus more on the questions themselves. If you make practice questions a regular part of your study regimen, you'll be able to notice areas in which you're improving. You can then adjust your study time accordingly. Practice makes perfect. As you near the examination date, continue to answer practice questions, but also set aside time to take an entire NCLEX practice test. We've included 3 at the back of this book. This will enable you to approximate the experience of taking the actual NCLEX. Using the Point website that accompanies this resource, the code for which is found on this inside cover of this book, you can take practice tests with varying numbers of questions. Because I've taken lots of practice tests, I understand how the questions work. Additionally, a second code offers you a free 30-day trial of Lippincott NCLEX RN Passpoint, which allows you to take adaptive quizzes across the curriculum, as well as to take practice exams of varying lengths from 75 to 265 questions. These practice exams simulate the real NCLEX in every way. Note that 75 questions is the minimum number of questions you'll be asked on the actual NCLEX. By gradually tackling larger practice tests, you'll increase your confidence, build test-taking endurance, and strengthen the SEN 999 or 142.200 and 4.35.194. or September 25th, 2025, 3:39:37 UTC. NCLEX RN questions and answers made incredibly easy. ISBN 9781 4963 2549 5 or 7th edition LISCO, Dr. Susan or LISCO Susan. Concentration skills that will enable you to succeed. See the day of the NCLEX below. Online adaptive quizzing. Adaptive quizzing programs such as Lippincott, NCLEX RN Passpoint can help keep you engaged with learning because the quizzes and exams are individualized to your level of understanding. The more correct knowledge you demonstrate, the more challenging the learning experience becomes. Passpoint gives you ongoing feedback about your strengths and weaknesses so you know how to prioritize your study plan. It gives you an opportunity to take NCLEX-style exams of varying lengths to help you build your endurance and become more familiar with a simulated computer adaptive testing environment. By alternating your book review and quizzing with online learning, you can stay energized and prepare for NCLEX using the different media available to you. To-do list. The day of the NCLEX. On the day of the NCLEX examination, take these steps. Get up early. Wear comfortable clothes, preferably with layers you can adjust to fit the room temperature. Drink a glass of water and eat a small, nutritious breakfast. Leave your house early. Arrive at the test site early with the required paperwork in hand. Avoid looking at your notes as you wait for your computer test. Listen carefully to the instructions given before entering the test room. Succeed, succeed, succeed. Print page break 23. 1. The best time to study is A. In the morning, B. Early in the evening, C. After eating a full meal, D. When you feel most alert. 1. View answer. Send 999 or 142.204.35.194 or September 25th, 2025, 39:37 UTC. NCLEX RN questions and answers made incredibly easy. ISBN 9781 4963 2549 5 or 7th edition LISCO, Dr. Susan or LISCO Susan. Answer. 1. D. Study when you're most alert. If you feel most alert and energized in the morning, for example, set aside sections of time in the morning for topics that need a lot of review. 2. The temperature of the ideal study area should be between A. 60° and 65° Fahrenheit, 15° and 18° Celsius, C. 70° and 75° Fahrenheit, 21° and 24° Celsius, D. 75° and 80° Fahrenheit, 24° and 27° Celsius. 1. View answer. Answer. 2. B. The ideal study area has a temperature between 65° and 70° Fahrenheit, 18° and 21° Celsius. 3. To help you maintain concentration during long study periods, recommended study strategies include A. Study the topics you find most interesting first, followed by the topics you find least interesting. B. Study the topics you find least interesting first, followed by the topics you find most interesting. C. Alternate the order of the subjects you study during the day. D. Study only the topics you find least interesting, you'll remember the others. 1. View answer. Answer. 3. C. Alternating the order of the subjects you study during the day adds variety to your study and helps you remain focused and make the most of your study time. 4. When selecting a study partner, choose one who A. Possesses similar goals as you, B. Is highly social and will keep you entertained, C. Isn't as knowledgeable as you so you can tutor him, D. Likes to take a lot of breaks. 1. View answer. Answer. 4. A. A partner who doesn't fit your needs won't help you make the most of your study time. Look for a partner who has similar goals to yours, possesses about the same level of knowledge as you, and won't spend too much time socializing. Scoring. Send 999 or 142.204.35.194 or September 25th, 2025, 3:39:37 UTC.